Now let's proceed two different tactics of obliteration of the black Abobos. Hello guys. The first tactic is of course misalignment of enemies. And this tutorial with the tutorial that will be called obliteration of the last boss are interconnected. Because if we want to pass this entire section of the game all the way to the end with misalignment, hitting the wanted misaligned frame line starts all the way back here. So let's start with the positioning. This is the last stage, the last misalignment, and of course the hardest one to pull off. It's the hardest one because it's the most risky. If we misposition by one little frame, we are falling down to the spikes. That's why I have two approaches, perfect misalignment and unperfect misalignment, and I will explain what that means. It's simple. There is a possibility to hit the perfect, most down misaligned frame line you can possibly hit, but the risk of falling down is very high. So, instead of taking that huge risk, there is a second, a little bit more safe approach. What that basically means is that if you don't hit the perfect, most down possible misaligned frame line and hit a little bit upper frame line, you will still be in misalignment, but an unperfect one, in which some of the enemies in some situations can approach you and hit you. But for me, this is the most interesting and exciting part of this final section. And that is that you can hit this so-called unperfect misalignment, but with experience, especially about the positioning of your player and keeping the right distance of the enemies, you can still clear this entire final section all the way to the end of the game in extraordinary fashion. So let's see this. The wanted misaligned frame line is approximately here. Let's proceed. Alright. The second tactic is of course random obliteration. But here we have a problem because of the shortened battlefield. We cannot maneuver very well. And because of that, this is the less used tactic. I'm using it when I feel more energetic and willing to play more aggressively. The idea is to use tactic that is called cutting the way of a surrounding enemy. But because of the shortened battlefield, it will be much harder to pull off, and we will be damaged in the process. but we must get past through with lowest damage possible and preserve some energy that we will need to fight the last boss, also with random obliteration. This is hard, but not impossible to pull off. So let's see this. Come on, let's dance! That was funny. Hope you enjoyed, guys. See you with next tutorials.